What's going on, Punisher fans and Marvel Legends fans alike? This is Solid Dave Snake, continuing Marvel Legends March here on my YouTube channel and bringing you guys a very special Throwback Thursday action figure comparison video today between two classic Punishers. Here on the left, we have from the 1995 Toybiz Spiderman wave Punisher compared to the 2003 Toybiz Marvel Legends Series 4 Punisher. And before I jump into this review, I want to give a shout out to a fellow YouTuber and a good friend of mine that I know this is his favorite comic book hero, and that's Ronnie Hayes. This review's for you, buddy. Ronnie Hayes from Make a Path Presents. If you're a fan of the Walking Dead TV show, go check out his channel because he has the best reviews and predictions for the Walking Dead TV series. So this review's a little bit just for you too, Ronnie, and we'll just get right into them now. I really think it's fitting that this old Punisher was in a Spider-Man series, and all those old Toybiz Spider-Man figures, they would kind of throw in more B and C list hero characters in some waves, like Punisher here and Daredevil, Doctor Strange. But I find it fitting that he was in the Spider-Man series because if you don't know, Punisher made his first appearance in Spider-Man comics and then eventually got his own title and became a big book in Marvel's history now. And one thing that I personally love about the Punisher is that to me, he was the very first anti-hero ever created. He does things for justice, but the way he handles things isn't like other heroes, and that's one of the things I love best about Frank Castle. And I won't go gabbing on the Punisher anymore. We'll just take a look at both of these figures together here and see what kind of similarities they've kept in the Punisher's design over the years. And this Marvel Legend is definitely the Marvel Legend that closest resembles that classic look from Punisher. We've had a lot of Marvel Legends Punishers, a lot with trench coats and different looks, from his Thunderbolts outfit with the red skull on his chest. But I really love this classic look. And of course that's what they went with the old Punisher. And just looking at both of them together, you can see the similarities are there. Everything is pretty much the same except for a lot more detail in this newer Marvel Legends Punisher here. But I love the skull on both of them. The old one has more of a cleaner white look. There wasn't a whole lot of paint variation back in these days with action figures. But the design on them is pretty much the same on both. There are small, minute differences on this skull. The edges are definitely sharper on this old one than the Marvel Legend one. This one has more of a circular look on the eyes. Same thing with the nostrils of the skull. And the biggest difference in between these skulls is the Marvel Legend has the solid bars running down with that black paint in between. Really bring out, making them look like teeth. And this one has a line going through the middle. Doesn't have any black shading going on, but that really almost looks more like teeth in this one. And they both have all kinds of pouches going around the waist. This one has a holster where this one does not. And the Marvel Legends ones has a lot of little buckles and stuff around the boot where the old one doesn't, but he does have a sheath with a knife on the side. So there are a lot of similarities between these two, but we will take this Marvel Legends one to the side now, and I will do an individual review on it tomorrow because it is a great figure, and I feel like I should definitely go over that individually. But let's take a closer look at this old one, and I will go over his accessories first. First of all, he came with this pin, which I can't believe I still have. There's actually one accessory that came with him that I don't have anymore, and I really don't even know how I lost it. It should have been in the bin with all these old figures, but I couldn't, and it was a headset that goes on him. But I do still have the knife that goes in the sheath, which I really loved that feature with this action figure when I was a kid. Because not a lot of action figures would have holsters and sheaves for their figures. But that fits in real nice there. And this odd looking weapon he has here actually shoots 2 different projectiles, which I'll show off. But this isn't how the Punisher uses weapons. He doesn't try to trap people. He's going to be trying to kill you. And I actually think that these 2 pieces are reuses of a Spider-Man out of this series that would kind of shoot webbing, and that's why it has this look on both of them. You can kind of tell that they were meant for Spider-Man before. But the gun does shoot them nicely. It just goes right in. And you know what? We'll try to hit the newer Frank Castle here. Oh yeah, boom. Let's see if I can nail the camera with this one. Maybe that's not the smartest idea, but coming at you. Oh yeah. So that fires real good. And I'll take it off and give you a little closer look. So, definitely doesn't look like a gun Punisher would use. But they weren't necessarily throwing in too many realistic weapons with these Marvel heroes back then. They pretty much all looked fake. If you wanted realistic looking weapons, you had to get G.I. Joes. And now we'll just take a look at this Punisher from head to toe. And wow, his face, the way they have his eyes. I mean, he overall looks pretty cartoony, but he looks like he's high on meth or something. He's just bug-eyed, like he's ready to go on a rampage. And I do love the 5 o'clock shadow they gave him, the stubble, and of course his hair is jet black. And we've already kind of went over his whole body. But articulation-wise, all figures back then were kind of limited. But he did have a cut at the head, which would rotate all the way around. Cut at both biceps. And a hinge on both elbows. Cuts at the hips. And single hinges at the knees. And that was about the standard for action figures back then. But it was a really neat Punisher, and I'm glad I still have it. And want to say thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for that Punisher Marvel Legends review up tomorrow. So, alright guys, I'll catch you then. Later.